All right. So remember, guys, you all begged for this. And I feel like it's going to be the year that it's finally going to happen. All right. And what I'm speaking on is bigger builds having a plethora of animations to choose from, and also bigger builds now becoming more of a traditional, up-to-date, current to how the NBA is, where big guards, big centers or wings like Wemby, LeBron James, Paolo Banchero, Giannis. I mean, the list goes on and on. Even like AJ DeBonza, who is 6'9", if you want to be able to make him or be able to do anything that he can currently do due to the restrictions of the dribble animations, dribble sigs, etc. Okay? Now, the reason why I feel that's happening is because this is something that you can see 2K gradually moving towards. So it's kind of a two-factor or two-prong system that I like to look at. The first one is pretty obvious. If you watch my videos long enough, you know that if there are meta builds from the previous 2K, they are going to make sure those are nerfed, okay? And remember in 2K24, it was the 6'9" builds. 2K25, they dropped that down to the 6'8", and then of course in 2K26, it was more so consistent. The consensus was that, you know, hey, the 6'4s, the 6'7", 6'8s, those were like some really good ones, but really 6'4", 6'8s were really, really dominant. So you can expect, once again, 2K to make the adjustments. And again, the other side of that prong is that a huge amount of momentum and outcry has been on social media about, yo, like, why is there not enough animations for the bigs? I mean, you can go right now and look at the layup animations, the dribble animations, jump shot animations. Whenever you say jump shot, there's a lot of jump shot animations. But if you're looking at dribble sigs and you're looking at leaners, hop jumpers, that type of sort, massively restricted on what you can do and what animations you can get. Now, the reason being, again, I don't know, like I said, I have no inside information on this, that, you know, like, I don't quote me on this, but I believe the reason being is because if you give bigs any type of decent animation, everybody's going to make them and they're going to be all over the place, okay? That is just what it is. You can see some really great creators, and, you know, and I won't even say it's all just creators. There's casual players or people that aren't famous that are able to do a lot of crazy things, sig-wise, on the limitations that we currently have with bigs. And I'm talking about individuals that are 6'10" and up. You see what I'm saying? So, what do I expect? Either two things. I either expect the builder to now have, like, because remember at 6'9", it was cut off an 80 ball handle. I can see 6'10s being able to get an 80 ball handle now. Or the dribble sigs that you usually get for 80 would now be unlockable at 75, plus with more animations. So to me, I feel like that has to be the direction, just because you cannot come back into a 2K where it's going to be the same exact setup that it was from the previous 2K. You've already nerfed 6'9s. You've done, well, I don't want to say nerf. I would say, like, you've done you're not able to make the same 6'9 you made in 25 and 26, right? Excuse me. We know in 25 the 6'9s are really, really, really good. So, and the same thing for like a lockdown at 6'6. You know, you had limitations. You couldn't make a Giannis because once you're 6'10, you're not able to get, on-ball minutes, right? Expect that stuff to change also, because there was a massive outcry on that, right? There are people like, yo, like, Giannis is like literally one of the best defenders in the world. Why can I not get clamps, right? You should be able to get clamps on 6'10", 6'11s. Hell, I believe you should be able to get clamps as high as you possibly can. I feel like there needs to be some type of change in that direction with the builder, because there's so many great taller players that are great defensive players. And even as a tall player that is a great defensive player, like Jaren Jackson, you know, you do him injustice when you have somebody that can, you know, win Defensive Player of the Year and try to act like he can't play on the perimeter. He doesn't have that type of impact on your shooting. So even if you make a Giannis build and you have high interior defense, without being able to have on-ball minutes, you're not really able to play like Giannis can really play in the NBA. So I feel like that is something that's going to be adjusted also. These taller builds will have a place in here. These taller builds will be very, very relevant. And these taller builds will be extremely fun and extremely powerful. And I've always been a proponent of, hey, listen, just because you make something better, in this case, the bigs taller and more powerful, doesn't mean you make the other builds less. There's always going to be a place for a 6'4" guard. Let's just keep it a stack. There's always going to be place for them 6'4", 6'2" guards, right? You're going to see them all the time in Pro-Am. You're going to see them in the stage because they're quicker, and these guys love the left, right. They'll find a way, okay? But what we haven't been able to see is those individual guards, bigs, that can truly play on the perimeter like we see in the perimeter without having some of the better sigs. So I do expect that. And I feel like once we finally start to get those, right? When you open up NBA 2K27 and you see that, push crossovers and all that, and there's like 20 different anime, you're like, yo, like this is crazy. Like these centers are gonna be crazy, right? When you see the requirements that are not as as high to be able to get those, like a quick first step is going to be adjusted, to be able to have that, I think will push the game forward and have a different type of impact than we currently have. A lot of people might have the 2K15 PTSD, when they have them 7-footers running around, can do everything, demigods. But I don't expect that, but I do expect the fact that if you make a 7'4", it's just not going to be a clunky, just spot-up shooter. We know how overpowered it was as a spot-up shooter, but it just really is not conducive to today's basketball, where we have right now individuals like Wemby that are really dominating, even like Chet Holmgren, right? At his height, he can put the ball on the floor, and you can see the difference. Wemby and Chet Holmgren, they're not out there, first of all, Wemby's an outlier because he is out there literally, sizing up, bringing the ball between his legs and that type of deal. But regardless, expect that. That's what I'm expecting. I believe, again, based upon everything that I've seen as far as the cycle goes, to be able to see a 6'10" build be able to get what 6'9s were able to get. Maybe that is the cutoff. But who knows? I'm thinking that maybe a 6'11" can be able to get a 75. If 6'10s can get an 80 ball handle, 6'11 can get a 75. 7-footers should be able to also get a 75. It's just too many great basketball players out there that can do that. And I just think it's just going to be fun. It's going to be different because we're never going to be in a place when you have a builder and you have the people that as good as they are to where smaller guards are just not going to be relevant. You know what I mean? 7'4" was a huge fad when the game first came out, and you saw how it fizzled away and everybody started making adjustments. So when the game first come out, everybody's going to try their brand new toy, but that does not mean that is going to be the future, right? At all, right? Things will eventually settle down as the seasons go on, as the months go on, and then you'll start to see people go right back to the same builds, the 6'4" guards, 6'6" lockdowns. But there should still be a place to be able to get those things. But y'all let me know in the comment section, what do y'all think, man? Demigod 6'10" builds, are they gonna be relevant this year? Are they coming back? But other than that, it's your favorite old head, Uncle Demi. I'll be back really, really soon with the banger, man. When I say back soon with the banger, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm talking about tomorrow, man. I'm out.